everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washington Sports Digital Network.
Saturday doubleheader on tap, the last one of the semester here at Bill Vining Arena. I'm Isaac Bourne, joined by Chase Hartzell. And Chase, we've got a good one today between the Ouachita Tigers and the UAM Bowl. UAM Cotton Blossoms.
And what an exciting time it is, Isaac. You know, it's the most wonderful time of the year because of Christmas, but what a wonderful start it's been to conference play for both the men's and the women's teams for the Tigers. Both teams undefeated coming into the second weekend of conference play. For Arkansas-Monticello, this is a team that has improved over the last few years. This is one of the best teams we've seen out of Monticello in quite some time and presents an interesting matchup, a difference in philosophies between these two teams, but two teams that match up pretty interesting on paper.
And UAM Monticello, we'll talk a little bit more about them later, but Chase, you know, a little bittersweet right now as well. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more later, but this is the first time that I've commentated with you ever, but at the same time, I remember watching you commentate back when I was a freshman, and now you, an adult, a grown adult, you know, man, and me about to graduate, I finally get to be on the headset with you.
And it's kind of hard to believe that our paths never crossed with basketball. Of course, I called a lot of games with Chris Gay, but I'm honored that you've asked me to be with you here today for one of your last games here, and it's been amazing to watch your growth as a commentator. And let me tell you, there's nobody more passionate about Ouachita basketball, so it's exciting to get to share the table with you today.
And we're going to send it to an interview I had with head coach Nick Long and also Madeline Tipton a little earlier this week for this new Coach's Corner segment we've been doing. But we'll be right back here on the Capital Technology Group pregame show. And welcome back to the Capital Technology Group pregame show. I'm Isaac Bourne here with head coach Nick Long, and this is Coach's Corner. Following a kind of little bit of a week off, you guys don't have to play on Thursday. You now go into this UAM game a little bit more rejuvenated. So, Coach, just talk about the feeling around the team right now.
Oh, yeah, really good week to kind of reset, especially, you know, going into finals week next week. Let the girls have a little bit of time to catch up and catch their breath and kind of really work on us for a little bit. You know, kind of the first 3 weeks of the season, six games, real quick succession right after each other with Thanksgiving thrown in there. Can get awful busy, awful stressful, and so really nice to have a little bit of a break since SAU needed to move that Thursday game.
And Coach, you start the season off. You lose that first game at Northeastern. Since then, it has been all W's for your team. Just really have found a groove, and you start off conference play 2-0. Now you come into this weekend, just one win makes you guys a perfect 3-0 to start conference play, and you're only one of two GAC teams to be undefeated in conference right now. I mean, what's just the feeling around the team with that, knowing that you guys are starting off to one of your best starts in a while?
You know, they're playing with confidence. They're really believing in what we're doing and what we're putting out there for them, game plan wise and preparation wise, and they're going out. They've still got to go out and execute. And they're going out and executing it, and a lot of that has to do with just like I said, the confidence and what we're doing in their play and how they're feeling. Their bodies are feeling good. We're playing extremely fast, so it's been great to watch them take that. And then, you know, yeah, we're off to really good start in conference play, but it's a 22-game season. It's a whole lot better to get off to a better start than to be staring up a mountain trying to get back into the race. But it's really great to see us be successful especially really just after the first half in Northeastern State. We've kind of settled in after that, and it's been kind of clicking since then.
And Coach, kind of reviewing that Southeastern game a little bit too. I mean, East Central, Madeline and Heidi really unable to get going offensively, and then against Southeastern, you really saw your two seniors go off for 50 combined.
Yep.
Even though she's sitting right over there and listening to everything we're saying, just talk a little bit about just what you saw from game to game where that was able to really give them the ability to go off in that game.
Well, it's just their patience and their understanding of the game and just kind of what we we see out there and what the opponents are giving us, East Central was not going to let the two of them be the two that scored, and everyone else did a great job stepping up around them. I mean, we could have force fed Tip the ball and got her looks and got her points, but we didn't have to. We're extremely deep. We're 9 to 10 deep on any given night, and we don't have. It's good to see that, all right, you want to try to take that game plan that may have worked some in the past. Well, it's not gonna be as successful anymore just because of the depth and the balance that we do have. But then turn around, and if you really don't want to key in on them, now you see Tip go for 26, Heidi go for 24, and then just the way they're playing, the way they're understanding kind of the offense and what we're looking for is really been something that's been special to watch. And it's just the spacing and everything that we've got. Tip's already, we were talking about it yesterday. She's already shot 50 free throws on the year, and her career high, that's through 6 games, her career high free throw attempts is only 80. So I mean, she's getting the spacing and just kind of the freedom that they had to play. So they're really embracing it.
And Coach, I mean, you have we talked about this earlier on in the season. You have the experience in players like Heidi and Tip and Audrey, and you use them as some of your main pieces. But one big surprise that's really been a welcome addition to this team has been the youth as well. I mean, you got sophomore Caden Porter. She's really been a great addition to the starting lineup. We talked about Ruby last time we had an interview. I mean, then you've also got so many great freshmen and Michaela and Bree and girls like that. I mean, what does it mean to know that, I mean, you've got great upperclassmen, but now you also can sprinkle in some great younger players as well?
Oh yeah, that just makes it easy. If we get in foul trouble or if someone's having an off night, we can adjust, and we have pieces that we can put in there that we feel really comfortable about going out there and performing and executing and putting us in a position to still be able to win a basketball game. And a lot of it, like you said, a lot of it has Caden and Ruby both worked really hard this summer. Ruby was rehabbing from her foot injury. Caden worked really hard this summer. She was with Tip a lot this summer, working out, and I feel like you're seeing a lot of that from the, out on the court this go around. And then, like you said, Bree and Michaela, both of them, they're still learning the college basketball game a little bit, but you can see bits and pieces of it starting to click for them. And hopefully, as we get into January and February, where they're really not freshmen anymore, they've got some more practice and more games under their belts, you'll really see them start to take off a little bit too.
And Coach, as we transition to looking more at this Cotton Blossoms team, they have a little bit of turnover from last season, but the main pieces from last year, they've still got 2 starters coming back. And looking at this team, not a great start to conference play, but they've also shown their ability to beat some D2 teams as well in non-conference play. So how do you go into this one with, I mean, obviously you've got to have the confidence that you have from last weekend, but how do you go into this one not really letting things get past you?
So they if you don't guard them, they can really score the basketball. They play at a little bit slower of a tempo than we do. They don't really want to get out and go quite at the pace that we look to. But if you get them into playing your style, they will try to play it. Lindsay Long and Alyssa Batten really kind of lead the way for them, and kind of what they do. They're both really, really good players, really talented. They both can shoot the 3. They both have pretty good mid-range game, and where they can get themselves into some spots and create some things for themselves. But like you said, pretty different team, whereas than what we played last year, and a double overtime game here, overtime game in Monticello. So just really looking forward to getting back out there on the floor against them and seeing how it turns out for us tomorrow.
And Coach, in these slower paced games where you have to play against some of these slower paced teams, we saw it against East Central. We've seen it earlier in the non-conference as well. I mean, you've had to really go to that low post game with Abby Harrison. So, with the game against Southeastern, her not really able to make shots, having to push it towards the outside, is that the approach, going more towards the inside against these slower teams?
It really just depends on how they want to come out and guard us. Abby had a tougher game Saturday just because anytime the ball went into her, they came and doubled her. So she had hands slapping, grabbing, and everything. Whenever she got the basketball, and so that led to a little bit of a tougher situation for her. But we've got some different things that you saw some high-low game where we put Tip coming out of the backside of a set and looking to Abby high-low, just where we put some pressure on the defense on different things where we can get her the ball. But really, it comes down in these slower games. It comes down to us getting stops and being able to push it in transition. So we can go get a rebound, we can get out and run, we can play at the pace we want to play at.
And Coach, finally, bottom line here going into this UAM game, what do you guys feel like you need to do if you want to execute and win this one?
really feel like playing our pace and getting out and running, which, like I said, starts, stops, and rebounds. Really proud of the last 2 games. We out rebounded East Central and Southeastern. Think that may be the first two rebounding battles that we won this year. No, I'm 99% sure that was the case. The Champion Christian one doesn't count. But we did a good job of owning the boards and really battling and really focusing on that. And I feel like that's going to be another big key tomorrow too.
Now we're going to go to one of the leaders in this Ouachita team and talk a little bit with Madeline Tipton. And now we're back here with senior leader Madeline Tipton. And Tip, going into this game against the Blossoms, you've got a squad that has a lot of returners. Obviously, you talk about Lindsay Long. You've seen her for your entire college career. So talk about just with the game plan going up against a prolific scorer like her is.
Yeah, she's really developed her game a lot. She was just kind of a shooter, spot shooter, but she's developed a downhill game, getting to her pull-up well. So she's one we definitely got to key in on. Don't let her get going, because she's one of those great players that she gets going scoring-wise. She's also going to get her teammates going. So we get some stops on her, we're going to be in a good position to get stops all game.
And then now you look into these past 2 games. We talked a little bit with Coach Long about this, how you and Heidi had that first game where they keyed in on really trying to make sure you guys had to pass the ball coming out of double teams, things like that. 1 shot attempt against East Central, but then you go up against Southeastern. You're able to kind of play your pace of play a little bit more, get out in the open floor, and you really saw the ability to score. What was the difference in those 2 teams that really gave you the ability to see more open looks?
I think it's just, me and Heidi, we watch a lot of basketball. We've played the game for forever, and we're just both competitors. And honestly, our entire team is just a bunch of competitors. We just want to win. To us, it doesn't matter who's the leading scorer. It's great for us if we have 4 or 5 kids in double figures or, things like that. That's what makes great teams, and that's what we want to be as a great team. So to us, we're just making the winning play, and that's our main focus.
So you, Heidi, Abby, Sam,
and Audrey,
all you guys have been playing together for so long.
Yeah.
You come in as the nucleus of this team. And so, you guys have been here longer than Coach Long. So what is really the approach kind of going with when you've had, this is the second time where it's been a first-year head coach. Is it almost kind of like teaching him the play style, or how's that go?
No, we're just, the 5 of us are really versatile players. I feel like we can fit in any kind of offensive or defensive system. And so Coach Long come in and told us, hey, we want to play fast. We said, sounds great. Hey, this is what we want to do on defense. We said, sounds great. And that's kind of where everyone else has followed along, done the same thing. So we just kind of all fit in and just buy into what he wants us to do and what Coach Tyler wants us to do, and that's what's going to make us successful.
And then finally, Coach Long talked a little bit with us about this earlier in the season when he sat down and met with you guys for one of the first times. Your main focuses were wanting to close out big games and then playing a more competitive schedule. Non-conference, you guys saw all Division II opponents, and then you guys have been able to close out those big games. You saw the UAFS game specifically, able to win that one in OT. So what was the motivation behind that going into that meeting?
Yeah, when we have, like you said, when you have 4-year, basically some of us have been starting since our freshman year. You have 4-year starters that have been here, and we've been through all the close games and we've lost them. That feeling is not something that you want to feel very often. And, so we have that experience. We've been in the close moments. And then also in practice, we practice different situations because you never know what the end of the game is going to be like. You can't replicate it, but you can practice it, and you can practice being under pressure. And we do a lot of pressure free throw situations, and I think we've done a good job of making our free throws down the stretch, and that's what's really, helped us win some of these close games.
And then speaking of close games, there's one more thing I did want to talk about. Last time you guys played this team, it was right back here, 79-78. And a call that we won't say is good or bad. We'll stay neutral here. And you lose by 1 point to this team last year. Now they come back into your building with probably a lot of that hurt still sitting on you guys. How much does that motivate you guys going into this one?
Yeah, that was our senior night last year, and that was not the way we wanted Laney to go out. And, honestly, only winning 5 conference games, every game's a revenge game. Every game's a night for us to have some motivation from the previous year. So we're just focused at one at a time, and, we're going to be focused tomorrow afternoon and just ready to go and compete.
And thank you, Madeline, and thank you, me, I guess, for doing that one yesterday. But going into this game, we heard a little bit from both player and coach about two teams in this one that have seen better days in the past, but Ouachita really able to turn it around this season and start this year off 2-0. Meanwhile, Monticello trying to get back on track. You see two programs that have either turned around like Ouachita, or one that is not really looking for that turnaround. So going into this one, how much is the motivation to win this one for either team?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of motivation on both sides. Like you said, for UAM, this is a get-back game. You're trying to get back on track. And let's not sugarcoat it. They had a tough opening weekend, too. When you have to play one of the top 10 teams in the country in the form of Harding to open up your season, that's a really tough test right out of the gate. But there are some signs of promise with this UAM team. When you look at their rebounding margin throughout the season, they're one of the top 3 rebounding teams in terms of margin. They're out-rebounding their opponents by more than 6 rebounds a game, and they're allowing fewer than 32 rebounds a game to opponents. So crashing the boards, that's really the strong suit of this Blossoms team. They like to play down low. They've got some good defenders down low. You got to keep your eye on a Lindsey Long, though, too, because she can really stretch the floor, leading the conference in three-pointers made this season so far and shooting just below a 40% clip. So this is a team that is going to be concentrated around the basket, but you've also got to keep your eye on those threats from Long as well.
And, Chase, speaking of a Lindsey Long as well, Long is joining this group of 2 players today that are 4-year leaders of this team. Long, she's been with the Cotton Blossoms for 4 seasons now, and same for Madeline Tipton. 2 players that lead both of their teams in scoring, now in their senior year, having to play against each other. I mean, Tipton was talking a little bit about it yesterday as well, just playing against Long. Both of them have been 4-year starters.
Absolutely, and when you look at Tipton, she is a proven all-conference level player. This year, one of the top 3 scorers in the GAC at 18.5 points a game. And really, she's taken her game to the next level. As we said, she'd already established her talent level. But I think one of the things that's really helped her, too, is having Heidi Robinson back to her old ways. Now, Heidi was having a great start to the 2023-24 campaign my senior year here at Ouachita, her sophomore season. And her season was shortened due to injury. And last year, new coach, new offensive perspective, and just got the ball back into
Speaking of Heidi Robinson, yeah, our camera's a little slanted here, but
we're good to get back here. But Heidi, we really started to see that sophomore season form return for her. Not only that, but she's better than ever before. She was averaging 13.3 points per game through 8 contests before her season was shortened due to that injury. Last year, bouncing back a little bit, saw a change in role with a new coach, and also, again, recovering from that injury. But it's been full steam ahead this year, 13.8 points per game, just outside the top 10 in scoring. And she and Madeline are also 2 of the best passers in the GAC as well in terms of both getting assists to their teammates and the assist-to-turnover ratio.
And you mentioned that new coach that Heidi had to adjust to last year. Same thing, same story for her in Tipton as well this year. But this time, Ouachita seems to have their guy. Obviously, Kylie Hill, a good start to last season, but then moving on to other things. And now, Coach Nick Long coming to this Tiger program and finding an incredible amount of success. They've won 5 in a row at this point.
Well, and that's a big challenge when you come in and you're working with players who are now, some of them on their 3rd head coach since they started college play. But Nick Long has really been a great fit for this program. The players respond to him well. It also helps to have a coach who knew how to pronounce Ouachita coming in, because he coached at Ouachita Parish High School down in Louisiana. So when you combine all of those factors, it has really set this team up for success, and that success is translating to the output that we're seeing right now. You start out 2-0, you can't do much better than that. Not only that, but this has been the #1 offense in Great American Conference play with 79 points per game through opening weekend. That is a very impressive clip. We'll see if they can keep that up here going into the second weekend of conference play. You're finishing up into the Christmas break. You want to leave it off on a good note so you can pick that momentum up going into the new year.
Just a little under a minute before we start with National Anthem and starting lineups. So, Chase, 45 seconds. What do you feel like the key to the game for either of these teams is going to be if they want to come out of here with a win today?
Well, I think for Ouachita, you've got to try to do your best to win that rebound battle down low, but also play to your strengths. that is the thing. UAM is known for their play down low, not necessarily known as much for their defense further away from the basket. So I think implementing that mid-range and that three-point game is going to be critical for UAM. You're trying to bring that game inside and also try and respond as best as you can to the stretching of the floor provided by Ouachita.
You mentioned those three-pointers per game. Ouachita first in the conference in three-pointers per game this season, 8.8. We'll see if they can replicate that here. We're going to send it over to the intercom for introduction of the starting lineups, but first, the national anthem.
Tiger Nation, welcome to Bill Vining Arena for today's contest featuring our guests, the Arkansas-Monticello Cotton Blossoms, and your Ouachita Tigers. At this time, fans, we invite you to please rise if you are able as we honor America and those who serve it with the playing of our national anthem. And now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, starting first with our visitors from Monticello, the UAM Cotton Blossoms. Starting lineup number 5 at guard, Brylan Finley. At guard, number 15, Alindsay Long. At guard, number 21, Kira Williams. At guard, number 24, Alyssa Batten. And at forward, number 30, Harper Biley. The head coach of the Blossoms is David Midlick. And now, Tiger Nation, let me hear you roar. This is the starting 5 for your Ouachita Tigers. Starting at guard, a sophomore from Sheridan, Arkansas, number 11, Caden Porter. At forward, a 6-foot senior from Hot Springs, Arkansas, number 2, Audrey Winfrey. At guard, a 5'10 senior from Bologna, Arkansas, number 23, Madeline Tipton. At guard, a senior from Marmaduke, Arkansas, number 30, Heidi Robinson. And at forward, a senior from Hernando, Mississippi, number 32, Abby Harrison. The head coach for your Ouachita Tigers is Nick Long. He's assisted by Tyler Doyle and Victoria Everett.
And there you have it, folks. The starting lineups both have been finished here for both teams. Looking first at UAM, it's Brylan Finley, Alindsay Long, Kira Williams, and Alyssa Batten at the guard positions, and Harper Biley going to hold down the middle for the Cotton Blossoms. Meanwhile, for Ouachita, it's the main 5 at the guards, Caden Porter, Madeline Tipton, and Heidi Robinson, and holding down the middle is Audrey Winfrey and Abby Harrison. This Ouachita starting 5 has been very productive this year, and Caden Porter really being a welcome addition to this team in the starting lineup. Last year kind of being more of an off-the-bench type player, but has brought some great defensive intensity at that point guard position.
Porter, one of those players that allows you to further spread the floor and look for this offense to spread the wealth early in this contest. We mentioned the efficiency, 48.6 combined shooting percentage from the field in their first 2 conference games.
And the tip is going to go to the Tigers, and here's Heidi Robinson, the floor general of this Ouachita team. Ouachita in the half court, going to give it inside to Harrison. Swinging it around. Porter out to Winfrey. She'll take the contested corner three, and it's all laces for the senior. Ouachita starts the game on the board with 3.
No surprise there. Audrey Winfrey comes into this one shooting 46.2% from 3. That is the 3rd highest among GAC players with more than 25 attempts thus far this season.
Here's a Lindsey Long. She's going to get it inside, and that one's going to be swatted away by Winfrey. And Batten just can't get that one to go after Audrey Winfrey. Some intense defense on the inside. Long, she'll be the one to take it out under the basket for the Cotton Blossoms. Biley, she'll drive on Tipton. Double teamed. And UAM, they're gonna have to pass it around. Shot clock winding down. The long heave. It's gonna hit the rim, and Porter's gonna get on the rebound. Good defensive possession by the Tigers, and they go the other way. Porter, the drive. Handoff here to Harrison. The spin around Biley. The step through and can't get it to go. Gonna juggle around the rim and out.
But it is the kind of high percentage look that you want down low. Harrison, one of the top shooters below the basket in the conference. Actually one of the top shooters in the conference period at 56.8% from the floor.
Long, the middy's no good, and Winfrey's gonna jump on top of the board. Robinson quickly down the court. Left side layup is no good. What started off quickly for Ouachita has now gone 2 shots missed in a row for them. The air ball for UAM. Just a little under 2 minutes elapsed in this one. Ouachita with just the one made basket from deep. Robinson trying to get it to Harrison. That one was tipped. Now substitutions for both teams. Coming in for UAM, Opal Hardy and Ella Hamlin. Meanwhile for Ouachita, it's Samantha Watson, Brooke Smith, and Ruby Trammell. 8 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Robinson gets the screen. The spin around, and that one's blocked. Trammell back on the rebound. Watson will take it inside. She'll draw the foul, and she's going to head to the line for 2.
And we've already seen that aggressive defense down low from UAM, but Watson able to draw the foul. Now a chance for 2 freebies at the line.
Watson 65% from the stripe this season, coming off a game where she had 8 points and 6 boards. She'll start the scoring for her today with the first one. 2-time All-State selection at Nolan Catholic. Watson also was a letter winner in softball, track, and cross country. She'll get them both to go. And Tipton gonna put some hands on it there and swat it out of bounds for her team. You've already seen the active defense for this Ouachita team starting to become a problem. In the corner, here's Batten. Back out to Hamlin, wide open 3, and that one's no good off the front of the rim.
They're going to say that her foot touched the line. Ball's going to the Tigers.
And Hardy, good effort trying to get on top of it there, but it's going to go back over to Ouachita. 7.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Samantha Watson to take it down. And once again, the active hand is going to send it out of bounds. And Brylan Finley there, the last one to touch it. It'll stay with the Tigers. Pass into Robinson. No scores yet for her today, but that's sure to change. Hand off to Smith on the high-low, and she's going to get it to go on the inside. Send her to the stripe for one more.
And that was a beautiful setup there by the Tigers, leaving the paint empty for most of the possession just to strike at the last second, setting up for the and one.
And Smith, she's been a player that's been in and out of this lineup as more of a small ball big. From what I've been told, she can also shoot the deep ball, but so far has yet to make or shoot one this season. Free throw is no good for her. Ouachita still with the shutout at 7-0. Pass over to Southall. Driving on Robinson. Going to put the floater up and no good. This Ouachita defense on the inside continues to keep the Cotton Blossoms scoreless, but what a steal. South Hall. That one's going to be last touched by Ouachita. It'll stay with UAM. Bree Hubbard now in the game for Robinson. Chase, that last possession for Ouachita, what we've seen a lot recently is a lot of passes being swatted away. Some just careless passes early on.
Well, and both of these teams so quick and using that quickness to their advantage on defense. Meanwhile, we've got a jump ball.
Possession arrow towards UAM, so it'll stay with the Blossoms for now.
Something that Ouachita has done here early, though, is they've been quick with their hands, but they haven't been overzealous avoiding fouls.
Here's the pass here into Hardy. Long looking for the screen. She'll drive on Smith. Pass back out, here's Finley. Took too many steps, and that's a UAM turnover. Ball goes back to the Tigers.
Up-tempo offense from both of these teams early in this one, but kudos to Ouachita. We've mentioned it. They've been able to use that tempo to their advantage, and they're keeping the ball around the outside of the arc. They're not letting UAM get to the inside where they typically have the advantage.
Low scoring affair so far. Ouachita able to have the slight advantage here. Trammell out to Smith. Pass out. Here's Samantha Watson. 5 seconds here on the shot clock. Trammell on the drive. Hanging in midair and off the glass and in for Ruby Trammell.
That shot was a lot more difficult than Trammell made it look, going across her body to put it up at just the right angle.
And nice shifty pass on the inside, and the first score is going to go to Opal Hardy for the Blossoms today.
That's the back cut they've been looking for all game long. The Tigers had closed it up each and every time up to that point, finally able to break through.
And Watson going to slide around the screen and get the easy right-handed layup for Ouachita to hit double digits. Quick turnover for them as well, and it's 2-on-1 fast break. Watson handoff to Smith. And Brooke Smith, that's her second strike of the game from the field, and that's going to force a UAM timeout. Your score here at the break, Ouachita 13, UAM 2. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Victory doesn't just happen on game day. It's earned in the sweat, the silence, the prep. No crowd, no lights, just focus. Because when something unexpected happens like an accident, you need a team that's ready. I've been fighting for clients for over 30 years. There's a reason we're still in the game. And at Taylor King Law, we don't just show up.
We win. On your side, by your side. The winning side.
Back from break here at Bill Vining Arena, UAM having to call a timeout after Ouachita has only allowed 2 points to the Blossoms so far in this one. Meanwhile, the Tigers, they themselves have made 4 of their last 4 shots in this one.
And really, it's been transition offense off of those turnovers. We were talking about it right before the break. Samantha Watson with a beautiful pass down to the block where Brooke Smith was waiting. Perfect setup. We've seen a lot of those possessions from the Tigers early in this one. They've had fast hands around the perimeter. Very seldom have they allowed UAM inside, and that has been the key to success thus far. Got to try and keep that up as we go into the second half of the first quarter.
8 of the Tigers' 13 points have been scored on the inside. The rest of them have come from the free throw line or mid-range. But here's UAM trying to stop this Tiger run. The long mid-range shot is going to go in for her, and they'll take the count off the basket. The lead for Ouachita back down to single digits. Here's Bree Hubbard, top of the key. Smith drive, she already has 4. Trammell weaving around the inside, Hubbard. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Watson, they've got to get a shot up. Inside to Hubbard. Trying to use the mismatch against the Blossoms, but can't get that one to go. Turnover on the fast break, and now Tigers are running. 3-on-2 here. Watson will slow it down. And she'll draw the foul, trying to slow it down and fake out UAM. And that's going to send her to the line for 2 more shots.
Well, and a couple things there from Watson. Great court awareness first to recognize that the ball could be popped free on defense, and then to wait until just the right moment. She knew where the defense was going, and she was able to draw the contact to set up this trip to the charity stripe.
And Watson, she made her last 2 from the line earlier, so that one's going to go in for her. Samantha Watson, she's been a very productive piece off the bench for this Ouachita team this year. We already mentioned the last game with 8 points off the bench, already up to 6 in this one. Tiger lead back up to double digits. They lead by 11. Here's Biley. She'll take that one just beyond the free throw line. She can't get that one to fall. Smith, fake handoff to Watson. Tigers passing it around. Trammell the drive inside, back out to Hubbard. She's got the open tray, and she sinks it. Ouachita continuing this run. They've made 5 of their last 6 shots in this contest.
It's basketball 101 right there. Drive towards the basket, draw the defense into you, and then kick it back out for the easy 3.
And an interesting possession there too. Hubbard, usually the player that draws the defense in on the inside, but that time getting to be the benefactor of that type of play. And she'll step right through Trammell, and that's exactly why you've got a player like Ruby Trammell on the court right there. Draws the charge, and Ouachita will take back possession.
If I'm not mistaken, that's turnover number 4 already for the Blossoms today.
Ouachita's active hands continuing to cause problems for them. Meanwhile, for Ouachita, more substitutions. Audrey Winfrey, Abby Harrison, Caden Porter, and Michaela Vation all into the game. Tigers just continuing to put their foot down in this one. Pass into Harrison is picked off. Here's Southall on the right side. She'll take it back out. She's guarded by Vation. Batten gets herself the screen. Picked up by Harrison. Back out, Southall, open 3. That one rolls around and out. Battle for the rebound. And it's going to be last touch by Ouachita. So UAM going to take back possession. 20 seconds left here for them on the shot clock. And that being a more recent change to the rules, the shot clock does not reset at 30 at the hit of the rim. It resets at 20. Long trying to get around Winfrey here. Out to Biley. She'll take the open shot. No good. Trying to use her size as her advantage. Batten, that one swatted. And they're going to call the foul on Harrison. Maybe the contact a little bit late there, but either way, it's going to go for 2 free throws for the Blossoms.
Well, and I think that the contact there, I don't know if we have a look at it, but in real time it looked like it was clean when the ball was coming up to her hand the first time, but as her arm went down, she made contact with the arm of the shooter.
First free throw is good for Batten. On the season, Batten shooting an even 80% coming into this game. Made both of her free throws last time out. And she'll do that once again from the stripe. Productive trip there for Alyssa Batten. Watson, she'll get the screen. Out to Vation. Pass inside. Harrison trying to get around Biley. She will, and gonna put that one up and in. Nice scoop layup for the senior.
Excellent post play there from Harrison, and that's such a great compliment when you have a lot of outside shooters to have more of that traditional inside play at your disposal as well.
And Batten, she'll draw the contact on the inside. It'll stay on the floor. Substitution for UAM coming in for Biley's number 20, Opal Hardy. Long to take it out under the basket. Pass here into Kira Williams. Williams backing down Watson. And the fade from the post is going to go right to the hands of Winfrey. Tigers going quickly. Watson left side. Cross court to Porter. Open 3 from the corner. And that'll bounce out for her. Offensive rebound, gonna go to Vation, and she's gonna put that in for 2 more. Michaela Vation gets the rebound and the score on the possession.
She did a great job there of putting herself in a position to grab the miss and then showing no fear as a freshman, going right back up for the second chance points.
Long doubled in the post. Over to Hardy. Trying to get it over Harrison. That one's tipped back to Batten. Long open three. That one bounces off the front of the rim and out. Michaela Vation's going to take the rebound and run with it. Less than a minute and a half remaining here in the quarter. Ouachita looking to pad this lead a little more.
Harrison trying to post up down low.
She'll get the ball on the inside. Nice little move there, and it's going to bounce in for her. Abby Harrison. She's got 4 in this one and only 1 missed shot.
Another high percentage look for Harrison. We mentioned it earlier in the game. Shooting over 56% coming into this one. Second best in the conference from the floor.
Batten's mid-range shot is going to go in for her. So UAM able to get a little closer, but still the defense by Ouachita has only forced them to 21% from the field in this contest. Watson downhill, and the left-hand layup is just going to roll in for her. She's got 8 points in 1 quarter. And Chase, that's how many points she had last game.
It's been a fantastic start for Watson, not only contributing for herself, but setting up for her teammates as well with excellent transition defense and court vision.
Batten's 3 is going to rattle out. So now the Tigers are going to hold this one for the last possession. And who else? Samantha Watson going to have it in hand here. 5 on the clock, pass over to Vation. Hand off to Harrison. She's going to put it up, and that one's not going to fall at the end of the first quarter. An utter domination for the hosting Tigers. They lead 26-8 at the end of 1. 3 more to go here from Bill Vining Arena. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Brett Rogers, President of Capital Technology Group. You might know us as Capital Business Machines, but our new name represents our growth as one of the state's leaders in business technology. When you've been around for 80 years like we have, you learn a thing or two about change. But what will never change is our commitment to our clients. We're still the same reliable team here to meet all your technology needs. Capital Technology Group is bigger and better than ever before. Learn more at captg.com.
Action continuing here for the second quarter here from Bill Vining Arena. And so far in this one, Chase, when I say it's been all Ouachita, it really has. Tigers lead by 18 after 10.
One of the keys to the game that we were talking about for Ouachita is play to your strengths. But not only that, they've played well inside as well as outside. And really, it's been the inside game, being fearless, cutting to the basket, that has allowed them to kick the ball out for those long-range opportunities. And then on the flip side of things, they've done a great job of keeping the ball mainly around the perimeter and in the mid-range, preventing UAM from getting inside and getting the high percentage looks that they're used to.
And the story for this one really has been from beyond the arc. The Tigers more methodical with their shots from 3. They've only made 2, but they've only taken 3. Meanwhile, UAM has not gotten a single one of their 5 trays to go in. Start of the second quarter, Heidi Robinson has it. Gonna try to find Harrison on the inside, just a little too early on the pass there, and it's gonna sail out of bounds. Turnover for Ouachita.
And with that last turnover, the turnover margin has evened out at 4 apiece. But for Ouachita, it feels like they've been able to do more with those turnovers that they've gotten, setting up transition offense.
Tigers, they've got 6 points off of those 4 turnovers. Meanwhile, UAM just with 2. That time, though, that one's going to go up to 4 for them.
Hamlin with a nice mid-range shot there. And there have been times where there have been cracks in the armor for Ouachita, but that time it was pretty solid defense, hand up in the face, just a good shot.
Robinson going to drive left side out to Winfrey. Mid-range shot is up and all nylon for her, and she's going to put Ouachita up to 28 here.
And when you have a forward standing at 6 feet tall that can space the floor like that, that is such a hard matchup for any opponent.
Hardy, that one swatted away by Winfrey. Winfrey on the break, followed up by UAM. She's going to draw the foul, send her to the line for 2, but I'm sure Winfrey wanted that one to fall on the break.
Well, we were just talking about her versatility. Winfrey listed as a forward, but she was playing like a guard right there, snatching the pass, taking it herself straight up the floor.
And good follow-up defense that time by Ella Hamlin, able to foul Winfrey, forcing her to earn it here at the line. On the season, Audrey Winfrey, she's only taken 2 shots from the stripe, and she's 1 for 2 from that range. That one's up and good for her. Winfrey, a native of Hot Springs, Arkansas, went to Lake Hamilton High School and majoring in psychology and kinesiology here at Ouachita. She'll knock them both down, and the Ouachita leads up to an even 20.
Well, you mentioned Hamlin with the foul already. That is already her 3rd of the contest, something to keep an eye on moving forward.
UAM trying to start a run of their own. Here's Hardy backing down Tipton. The hook shot's no good. Audrey Winfrey on the board. Ouachita just continuing to dominate on the inside. Pass into Harrison, and nice high-low position there for Harrison, and she's going to notch 2 more.
We've seen some great chemistry from this offense here today, and you saw the 3 seniors connecting there. Robinson hitting Tipton on the wing, only to go back inside for the close shot from Harrison.
Another missed 3 for UAM, and Tigers running quickly. It's 2 on 4. Robinson picking up her dribble, looking for a teammate. Another high-low opportunity for Abby Harrison, and what great positioning. That's going to lead to 2 straight buckets for her.
Did a great job there of going up over the top, able to roll off the defender and set up a wide-open shot from that right block.
Harrison, past 2 possessions, has found a way to pin down her defender and get an easy layup. And now UAM trying to counter it. Long, she's guarded by Porter. Going to drive inside, the strong take, gets her own rebound and draw the foul. A Lindsay Long going to force Caden Porter up in the air, and that's going to send her to the line for 2. Excuse me, that's going to send her out of bounds. Foul on the floor. Biley back in the game for UAM. Long the pass into Biley. She's guarded inside by Robinson. The nice spin around, and she's going to rattle that one in as she comes in.
And that was kind of the post play that we were expecting from Biley going into this one. Just showing off the experience down low on the block, able to spin around Robinson, who's used to guarding outside, to set up the easy 2.
Porter the drive, trying to get it off to Harrison. It'll be tipped away. It'll stay with the Tigers. 15 seconds here on the shot clock. Robinson into Tipton on the curl. And Madeline Tipton, she's going to send herself to the line. And we've been talking about so many other players on this roster, Chase, that we haven't even talked about the fact that Madeline Tipton has been attemptless in this one, 0 for 0. And this is going to be her first chance for a score today already.
Hard to believe for a player that is averaging close to 20 points a game.
And Tipton, a type of player that we've seen 2 different types of play styles from her. Against East Central last week on Thursday, only 6 points, only 1 field goal attempted. Meanwhile, when she needs to, she can put buckets up in a hurry. 26 points in her last outing against Southeastern.
And she really is one of those team first players where if the team needs her to shoot, she's there to shoot, but if she needs to distribute and create opportunities for her teammates, she will do that as well. That's been more the case today.
And Batten trying to get it on the inside, and the tough bucket is good on the reverse. UAM starting to get some scoring going. We'll see, though, if they can outpace the Tigers.
Well, they've been looking for that left baseline drive all day long. Finally got the opportunity they were looking for.
Robinson gets it out to Winfrey, and she's going to knock down the open 3. Audrey Winfrey, top 7 in GAC in 3-point percentage, showing it there.
Already 2 for 2 here today. A perfect 4 for 4 from the floor overall.
Biley now trying to get around Harrison. She'll get her defender up in the air, and that one will curl in for her. Back and forth on scoring here for UAM. They're trying to get themselves a run going, though. Robinson The open mid-range shot is no good off to the far side. Blossoms back the other way now. Crossover, batting the mid-range shot, and that one's not going to hit the rim. It'll sail out of bounds, and substitutions in for both teams. Coming in for the Tigers, it's Watson, Vation, Trammell, and Hubbard. And for UAM, it's going to be Southall, Hamlin, Hardy, and Southall, Hamlin, and Hardy.
Well, we saw something a little unusual there. We saw more of a press from UAM. And now it's going to go back to the Blossoms.
Just a little bit of a careless pass there for Ouachita. And a turnover like that going to give UAM a chance to get some unresponded points. Gets the pass around, and Ouachita's going to take it away. It's Smith on Southall on the break. The floater is no good for her, and UAM will take back possession. Hamlin driving on Trammell. Trying to get it to Batten there, but Michaela Vation, active hands to swat it out of bounds. It'll stay with UAM.
Well, we've talked about how UAM wants to get to that left baseline. On these last couple possessions, we've seen Ouachita do a great job of double teaming and trapping in that corner, forcing the ball to go out and forcing quick, often errant decisions from the Blossoms.
Long, the elbow shot is no good. Last tipped by the Blossoms, and that'll be the media timeout. Ouachita, they lead 39-16. A long hill to overcome if UAM wants to come back in this one. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
OSDN is Ouachita's student sports media program in the Rogers Department of Communications. OSDN brings over 100 Tiger Home athletic events and other content to your devices each school year. OSDN is funded by advertising and generous gifts from supporters. If you'd like to support the students of OSDN through a tax-deductible donation, visit obu.edu/give and indicate OSDN in the provided field. If your business would like to advertise on an OSDN broadcast, email us at osdn@obu.edu. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers!
Action restarting here for the second half of the second quarter here from Bill Vining Arena. And then the Tigers, they still lead by 23 in this one. Meanwhile, UAM starting to get something started, but Chase, it might already be too late for them unless they can string together a run here in this first half.
Well, and for Ouachita, they're having more success right now in the mid-range and the outside. When you're trading threes with twos, it's very difficult to come back in this one. But for UAM, I think the key was just finding a way to establish the offense, being able to play into your strengths a little bit. And we've seen some great plays setting up opportunities inside from both teams. You know, we talk about easy twos. Easy twos are the results of hard work done leading up to the shot. And we've seen a lot of that here in the second quarter from both teams, creating opportunities for teammates down low.
You see the full court press implemented by UAM. They're going to get Trammell trapped in the corner. It'll go out of bounds, last touched by Long. But this early now into the game, and UAM already starting to put a lot of pressure on this Ouachita offense.
Already burned, 7 seconds.
And that's a turnover. Smith can't keep it with her. Southall to pass out, and Chase, you're going to grab right onto that one here, aren't you?
I am.
So it'll go back to the Tigers. UAM, the press works well for them, just unable to get a score out of it.
Well, I've gotten to get into the game both in the pregame and the actual game today. That's the second time the basketball has come our way.
And Chase, they definitely missed you behind this stand. For anyone that's a newer listener to these broadcasts, Chase was a 4-year member here of the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, graduating in 2024, and now is a member of the marketing department here at OBU. The nice pass into Batten. She's going to be swarmed. Can't get the shot to go, but send her to the stripe for two. And Chase, in this game, one trend you're starting to see for both teams, mainly Ouachita, but you saw it on that play as well. Just the cutting, allowing the other team to really get some open shots on the inside. Ouachita able to get the coverage from the backside though that time.
And the UAM getting a lot more of those backdoor cuts, able to get those high percentage looks down low, or at the very least force the defense to foul them.
And Batten can't get that second one to go. Alyssa Batten so far today has been the leading scorer for this UAM team. She's got 7.
And I think you may have to give credit to the GAC champions, the Ouachita volleyball team, for helping distract on that last one.
Vaishon gonna curl around, can't get that one to go off the right side, but good drive that time by the freshman Vaishon. Here's Southall on the right side, picked up by Brooke Smith. Swinging around back to Lindsey Long. Driving on Trammell. Pass into Biley, and Bree Hubbard can't stay on her, and Harper Biley is gonna pick up 2. And Ruby Trammell trying to get the skip pass over to Vaishon, but just a little high on it, and that's going to send it out of bounds. Harrison in for Bree Hubbard. .319 remaining here in the first half. Ouachita, they lead still by 22. Here's Finley, guarded by Harrison. Pass into Biley, she's picked up by Smith, swatted away, and Brooke Smith is gonna jump on it for the steal. Harper Biley couldn't keep her hands on it, and Brooke Smith gonna dive on top of it. Back the other way is Vaishon. Watson, she's guarded by Biley. The drive inside, back out to Smith, inside to Harrison. Good passing around by the Tigers. And Abby Harrison creates good position that time, and she's going to get the easy layup on the right side. Tiger lead up to 24 as we eclipse 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Looks like Brylan Finley drawing the contact. That's going to send her to the line for 2. In for the Cotton Blossoms, Kiera Williams in for them along with Opal Hardy, and back in for them is Alyssa Batten. In for the Tigers, Heidi Robinson in for Watson. Finley's first shot is up and good. The transfer from Delta State, coming off a year where she started 6 of their 24 games, and also is a graduate of the high school down the road, Bryan High School. Stolen away by Hardy, and she's going to put it up and in with another chance at the line, and this UAM press now starting to give problems to this Ouachita team.
And it's not that we're seeing it on every single possession, but it's implementing it intermittently that allows for it to be so effective. Ouachita, just when they think that they've, gotten away from it, you start to see that press again when you least expect it.
And once again, here it is. Smith has to pass it into Robinson. That 8-second violation, still something they have to be aware of, but Harrison, they'll get it down the court. That one's on the spin. Lindsey Long is there, and she'll just swipe it away. 3-on-2 on the break. Long, she'll slow it up. 2 minutes remaining here in the half. She'll take the 3. And Ouachita comes away with it. They're going to keep the running quickly. Now it's Robinson. Can't get the shot to go, but that's enough to send her to the line for 2 shots. Heidi Robinson in this one, she's yet to score. 0 for 2 from the field. A chance to make 2 here at the line. Robinson on the season, and even 14 for 14. She leads the conference in free throw percentage in attempts taken. First one up for the Marmaduke native is good. And Chase, one thing you're known for here in your time at Ouachita, what is the mascot of Marmaduke High School?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that's her first missed free throw of the season. Now 15 for 16 on the year. And Chase, I have to say it's because you didn't know the mascot of Marmaduke.
We're not gonna chalk that one up to the announcer's jinx. That one was on me for blanking there, but it was worth noting that coming into this game, Heidi Robinson was the only qualified shooter in the GAC that had not missed a free throw up to this point in the season.
And there, she's going to commit the turnover, just a bit too many steps after slowing up on the break. Minute 24 remaining. Ouachita leads by 20. Here's Finley. South Hall. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Finley. The step through around Robinson, and that's some good footwork for the sophomore out of Bryant. And UAM, another steal. Long gets it. Ball bouncing around, and Ouachita is going to take it right back. Battle for it at midcourt. Brooke Smith is going to draw the foul. It'll stay on the floor. Foul called on Janae Southall.
Both teams still one shy of the bonus in terms of fouls.
Under a minute remaining here in the first half. Robinson going to swing it over to Tipton. The bucket is going to rattle in for her, and Madeline Tipton, a perfect 1-for-1 on field goals today. Now here's UAM, just about 5 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Swing pass over to Long. She'll take the three. No good. UAM still unable to get a long shot to go for them. Shot clock now off, and once again it'll be Ouachita holding it for the final shot. Six seconds, feed into Harrison. The shot over Williams is no good, and that will be the final shot of the half. UAM can't get one up after that. Your score here at halftime, Ouachita 46, University of Arkansas-Monticello 26. And we'll be back at halftime for the Domino's halftime show, where Chris Babb is going to sit down with some special guests from the Ouachita Alumni Club. But Chase, a little review first. This has really been a dominating first half for this Ouachita team.
Well, just looking at the numbers for Ouachita, 65.4% from the floor, not to mention 75% from three. Now, the shots have been limited, just 3 of 4, but still, it's been the opportunities down low, setting up for those kickouts outside, but also a great job by Ouachita not settling for shots that they don't want. They're creating high percentage looks down low, and that has really been a key to success, really turning the game plan on the head of UAM and playing into their strengths.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that during the Java Primo game summary and stat recap. But first, we'll send it to a quick break, and coming out of the break, we'll have Chris Babb sitting down with Gwen Teal-Carpenter and Clay Partridge with women's basketball. We'll be back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita. Ouachita.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Hey, welcome back to the courtside at Bill Vining Arena. This is the Domino's halftime show. Chris Babb here, joined by two special guests at this Domino's halftime show. Gwen Teal-Carpenter, member of the Tigerette basketball team. Tigerette basketball team from 1969 to 73, and then Clay Partridge. And Clay might be out of our shot, but we'll get Clay.
Come on in, Clay.
We'll get Clay in there in a sec. There we go. We can get all tight and cozy.
Yeah.
But Gwen, a member of the alumni group that has been so active the last few years, kind of when you come back on campus and you walk into a game, what are some of the memories that come to mind? You and I talked about earlier. You mentioned Walton Gym.
Oh, yes.
These young bucks watching this, here today don't have any. Well, neither do Clay and I really of Walton Gym, but there have to be some great memories when you come back to a Ouachita women's basketball game.
Yeah. We practiced in Walton Gym, and you'd practice, and then you'd look down and you'd go, okay, I got to run over and get cleaned up and get back and eat. And you'd have about 10 minutes because Moffitt would keep you all the way until the end of her time.
Yeah.
So it was just that very busy, very active, and yet you had this sisterhood with all your players and your teammates and your suite mates and your roommates. So it was a great time to be here on campus at Ouachita during the heydays of what I call the Tigerettes.
Right. Under legendary and Hall of Fame coach Carolyn Moffitt, under her direction.
Right.
The women's basketball alumni group has been very active the last few years, trying to reach out and contact former players to try to get them involved in supporting the group. What are some of the reasons that you and Teresa and Susan and have really tried to get this thing off the ground and rolling?
We've tried to get it off the ground and growing because we know that we have a lot of alumni out there that would help bring players into the new Ouachita group. And a lot of us have been coaches, and so we know people, and we should know coaches of coaches, and they have players, and we could help bring them back to this campus and have them do the same thing that we've done and become that tight group of sisterhood and alumni and just reaching out. And that's what the alumni group is trying to do.
Each spring, each February, you have a reunion, and that reunion is February 5th through the 7th, the weekend, Thursday home game, Saturday home game. If people out, and I know the particular effort this year is to contact and try to get back that team of 2009, the NCAA tournament team that Coach Gary Crowder and Jason Jones headed up. I was here when working the first time around when during that season, and that was a fantastic season with such a talented group of players to watch. If someone's just seeing this, how can they get involved and how can they learn more and maybe even register for that alumni weekend?
Well, they can always go to our Ouachita alumni page on Facebook. They can call Teresa Raymond or Susan Cheatham. They could call me. They could text us. They could get through you to us. And just join us here on February 5th and February 7th this year. Or they could watch this great show.
Right.
I mean, the team has looked marvelous this year on the computer.
Right.
Just plug it up to your TV, and then you'd have a major event going on. But they can do that, and we can at least start the conversation with them about how they can get involved and what they can do for us.
The Facebook page is Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni. We'll bring in Clay Partridge now. Clay, you're here because of a memory of your wife, Lori. A scholarship has been established in honor of Lori Williams Partridge, and kind of give us a little bit of the history behind that and why that's been something that's kind of come up.
Sure, yeah. I'm obviously not a Lady Tiger alumni. I'm a Ouachita alumni, but my wife Lori,
baseball alumni.
Baseball alumni, that's right. Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah,
but my wife Lori came here between '91 and '95 and played basketball here, and absolutely loved it. And we had a great time. Met here. Have two kids, two daughters that are now 19 and 23. Anyway, we, after her passing, she went through a 5-year battle of cancer, passed away in 2016. And shortly thereafter, we decided we wanted to put together a scholarship in her honor, her memory. And we put that together, I guess probably 2017 or 18. We named it after her favorite Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11. And it's just been really neat to see so many people that have given to that. I think the scholarship amounts up to $225,000 that have been given over the years. And it's just really incredible to see so many people give to that, to help. I mean, we want to do all we can to help help the program, and I've been in contact with the coaches over the years and gotten to meet some of the players that have received the scholarship. And it's just really neat for me, my kids, to see that and see Lori's legacy kind of carry on.
And Gwen, that's one of the emphasis and one of the reasons, and in all the communication I have from Teresa, it mentions trying to get people active in supporting that scholarship that helps the women's basketball program as well.
Yeah, and so February 5th and February 7th, we are calling that our Pink Out Weekend. It's to support the breast cancer awareness program and to also bring in donations to this scholarship. And part of that is we have a special pink t-shirt that has been designed, I'm proud to say, by my brother.
There you go.
And we're going to be selling them both at the February 5th game and February 7th game, and for $15. That's very, very reasonable. And who knows, give a $20 bill, say the extra $5 is a donation, and let us just give it all to the scholarship and increase it so that we can have that scholarship given to one of the players. Right now, Samantha Watson is, I think, the second year, 2 years in a row recipient.
I think 3 years. I think 3.
3 years?
I think 3.
Recipient. And so that's a scholarship that will go directly to a Lady Tiger in the future as well. And it is an endowed scholarship, and so I think Clay can be proud of the fact that it's growing, and we'd like to be part of the growth as well.
Absolutely. Well, Clay, Gwen, thanks for coming to campus today.
Welcome.
Clay lives in North Little Rock, so it's about an hour and a half away, a little bit farther to Austin, Texas. So we appreciate you stopping by on your way back south, and thanks for the support of the program. Thanks for coming on at halftime and helping everybody at home understand what the emphasis is.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Gwen Teal Carpenter, Clay Partridge, part of the Domino's halftime show.
Bye.
We'll be back with a look at the first half stats after this time out on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Owned by Ouachita alumni, Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more in downtown Arkadelphia is a must-stop for everyone. Stop by in the morning for fresh coffee, a specialty coffee drink, or a full breakfast. Come back at lunch, or in the evening for burgers like the Primo Burger, the pulled pork burger, or the mac and cheese burger. Maybe it's a salad, a wrap, a quesadilla, or one of our varieties of pizza. And don't forget to top it off with a sweet treat that puts the cherry on top of a great meal. That's Java Primo on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
At Berry and Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry and Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry and Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. I'll have a blue Christmas without you, without you. They're singing Deck the Halls, but it's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here and all the fun we had. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. face. I should be chilling with my folks, I know. But Mama's in the kitchen worrying about me. I'm doing alright in case you were wondering. Since last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my
And welcome back here to Bill Vining Arena. Isaac Bourne joined by Chase Hartzell. We've got about a minute and a half, and we'll talk a little bit more about this game here for the Java Primo game recap so far up to this point. Ouachita, they lead by 26. It's been all Tigers in this one, and just really spreading out the scoring for this team in purple and white today.
It really has been, and we were talking about keys to success in this one. We said that Ouachita was going to have to lean into that strength of outside shooting, spreading the floor. They've been very successful of getting high percentage looks down low, really flipping the game plan on its head. And for UAM, they've actually been the one to take more threes today. One of the stats that jumps out to me, Isaac, 8 threes taken by the Blossoms so far, none of them made. For Ouachita, they've only taken 4, but they've made 3 of them, and they're shooting 65% for the entire game. Those are very promising numbers going into the second half. If you can keep that up, we're looking at a Tiger win here to start out 3-0 in conference play.
The Tigers with some good methodical offense so far. Audrey Winfrey, she's got 9 points off of 2 made threes, and the leading scorer for the Tigers is Abby Harrison. She's got 10 points, and Ouachita has really been good at getting her some of those inside opportunities off of some pin downs for her today.
Really been feeding the post player today, and kudos to Abby with her play down low. She's been posting up very well, looking for the hook shots, but also being able to peel off of defenders to get those back cuts for the open looks at the right block, sometimes even closer right underneath the basket. It's been high percentage looks that have been the key today for Ouachita. Again, that goes back to timely passing and spacing the floor. Also got to give credit to the guards as well. We've seen some great plays from Heidi Robinson, Madeline Tipton, Samantha Watson as well off the bench, setting up teammates for high percentage looks.
And now here, starting off the second half of play. Here's 10 minutes on the clock for the third quarter. UAM, a long hill to fight up if they want to come back in this one. Starting off the quarter is Finley. She's going to give it off to Long, and the three is no good off the front of the rim. And Ouachita is going to get it back for their first time here in the half. Winfrey, the drive left side. Back out to Porter. Tigers resetting. Robinson around the screen, dump off to Harrison, and she's going to get the easy bucket on the inside. The pick and roll used to perfection there. Tigers going to start off with the first score here of the first half. Long now looking around. Williams back out to Long. She's picked up by Winfrey.
And Long has been suffocated today defensively, shooting 1 of 8 from the floor. Usually the go-to scorer for the Blossoms. The Tigers have done a great job taking her out of the equation.
Biley loses it but gets it back. Out to Williams. Gonna try to get it up and in but can't, but that's gonna send Kiera Williams to the line. And Chase, I've been waiting for this one. Kiera Williams, she has been all around the country in her trip here to Arkadelphia. Obviously first, she transferred to UAM from Laramie County College all the way out in Wyoming. But before that, in her freshman season, played for North Dakota College of Science in Wahpeton, North Dakota. And Chase, I didn't even mention the fact that she's from Coffs Harbour, Australia. So Kira Williams has seen so many parts of this beautiful country. That second one is no good for her.
Truly a world traveler.
And Madeline Tipton, that three is no good. They gave it to her there, just couldn't get it to fall. Here's Batten, gonna get it out to Long, picked up by Porter. Biley, wide open mid-range shot's gonna rattle out. Good effort by Caden Porter on the board. Robinson looking around the screen. The drive, shot over Biley, no good. UAM back the other way. Here's Finley, cross-court pass, Batten the open three. And once again, the Blossoms just cannot find their range from beyond the arc. That's double-digit missed threes for them and has not getting one to fall. Winfrey in midair, and that one's blocked by Biley. Batten, skip pass to Long and just can't keep her hands on it. And that's going to be a turnover for the Blossoms.
One of the things that we saw in that first half, UAM is a team that is built on getting high percentage looks down low. Sometimes a more methodical offense, but today the Tigers have really forced the Blossoms to make those quick decisions, something that they haven't always been comfortable with.
And that's something Coach Long talked about in the interview yesterday. Another team that likes to slow down their pace of play, and Ouachita, a team that likes to play upbeat and fast, making the Blossoms play there uncomfortably in a fast pace of play, something that they have not responded to well. Porter, the three is all laces for her, and the sophomore is going to strike for her first points of the game.
That was a little bit of a broken down play there offensively, but a great job by Robinson recognizing her open teammate from beyond the arc.
Also beyond the arc, a Lindsey Long can't take the cap off. That's 11 missed threes now for the Blossoms. Robinson, she'll stop at the top of up inside to Harrison. No good, send it to the line for two. And right there, my stutter is gonna lead to 2 points from the line for Harrison if she makes them both.
By the way, to answer your question from the first half, it's the Greyhounds. Those are that is your mascot for Marmaduke High School.
I'm not sure if you know this one. Abby Harrison, native of Hernando, Mississippi. If you know where Hernando High School, if you know Hernando High School's mascot, then Chase, you sure would be a interstate ball knower.
Well, I am more of an Arkansas guy personally, but I do know where Hernando is in Mississippi.
But at Hernando, Harrison, a very accomplished basketball player, was a 2-year offensive player of the year for her team, and then also All-Region 2 6A player of the year as well. Also a volleyball player, and I mean that kind of goes to the 6'2" height, but she's going to head to the bench. In for her now is Brooke Smith. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the third period of play. Long looking to get around Trammell. Pass inside. Trying to get it over to Hardy. It'll be tipped away by the Tigers, so it'll stay with the Blossoms. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. A Lindsey Long to take it back out of bounds. The handoff to Long. Open corner three, still no good for the Blossoms. Tigers quickly now, here's Watson. And Smith, the screen is set, but they just can't get it to her off the roll, so now UAM the other way. Long handoff to Hardy, and just rattles out. Just the cap on this basket continuing to be more rigid.
Ouachita opting to slow down the offense a little bit here, set up an opportunity down low.
And Smith, the shot's no good, and UAM one-on-one here. Batten left side, and she's going to get the nice little floater on the inside to go in.
That was a great crossover too in transition, recognizing the weak spot on the left side.
And Samantha Watson going to take it coast to coast right to the defense And when they give her an open lane, she's going to get herself 2 shots at the line. Watson, earlier today, has already made 4 shots from the stripe. Now a chance to go 6 for 6 and hit her first double-digit performance of the day with 2 made. Watson already mentioned a native of Arlington, Texas. That first one is no good. And that right there, Chase, you got to give that one up to broadcaster's jinx. I already said something that would definitely make it hard for her to make them. Second one is up for her, and that one's good. The lefty goes 1 for 2, now 5 for 6 in the game.
We had tried to avoid the elephant in the room with Heidi Robinson earlier in the contest, and it ended up coming through anyways.
This time, no avoidance, and definitely shows the broadcaster's jinx right in order.
This is a very superstitious occupation, ladies and gentlemen.
And right there, that's going to be too much of a bump from Finley. Vation drawing the foul, so it'll go back to the Tigers. 25-point lead for them. And just continuing this dominant run here in Bill Vining Arena today. Trammell, she'll square up for the 3. Smith on the rebound, Vation battling for it. And it looks like it's going to be a loose ball foul. Vation whistled for it that time. And going back the other way, Vation was the one that drew a loose ball foul in the last possession, and she'll be the one to commit one now. Here's Southall, gonna hand it off to Batten. Southall loses it, but she'll get it back. Bree Hubbard, some tough defense here on the junior. Mid-range shot is gonna be good for her, just inside the 3-point arc. Watson, coast to coast again, no good. Brooke Smith on the offensive rebound. Passing it around now out to Trammell. She'll take the open shot. That one no good. Brooke Smith again gets the board. Tigers now slowing it down, 10 seconds on the shot clock. They're 0 for 4 in their last 4 shots. Watson the drive, out to Vation, 3 on the shot clock, and that's gonna be swiped away. Here's Hamlin on the break. And she'll slow it down. Next dead ball will be the media timeout. Offensive rebounds, UAM back again. Here's Batten, and she's gonna put it in, and one more shot on the line. Excuse me, looks like that's gonna be on the floor. Alyssa Batten drawing another foul, and that's gonna be a break for us. 4:04 remaining in the third quarter. Tigers lead by 23. We'll be back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
And welcome back here to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Tigers lead 54-33 after that last shot from Batten was counted. And it looks like she's going to take a trip to the line. Originally, that foul was called on the floor, but after further review, Alyssa Batten's going to go to the line for one more.
And really, Isaac, it's been a struggle for both teams getting going here in the third quarter. Neither team shooting above 30% from the floor. So we'll see if that's a turning point for the Blossoms. The Tigers trying to establish themselves in their own right on offense.
Neither team really able to get anything going from the floor here in this quarter. Ouachita 22%, like you said, UAM at 30. Only 5 made shots in just around 6 minutes of play here in the half. And on the scoreboard, Batten's 2 points were registered during the break, but it looks like they're going to take them back off. Official's going to stand with that call on the floor. Head coach of the Blossoms, David Midlick, not happy about that one. Midlick, a graduate of Ole Miss back in 1991 in his 4th season with the Cotton Blossoms. And that one will be on the floor, so Badden's points don't count. UAM will retain possession though. Here's Finley, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Back out to Hamlin, picked up by Tipton. The layup is gonna roll in for her. Tough bucket around Abby Harrison.
For Hamlin, those are her first 2 points of the contest.
Tipton, she's gonna get it on the break and back to Porter. Tigers running. Winfrey open corner 3. Rolls out for her, and Ouachita still can't take their own cap off this basket. 0 for 5 in their last 5.
But that is the kind of look that Audrey Winfrey likes, that corner 3. She's already made a couple of those here today.
Long over Winfrey, rolling around and out. Shots hard to come by here. Winfrey wide open shot on the inside. Heidi Robinson, the shifty move, and gonna get the nice pass to the inside.
And again, it comes back to court awareness, knowing where your teammates are on the floor at all times. Heidi Robinson has been one of the best in the GAC this season in that very capacity. Once again, finding her open teammate for 2 points.
Robinson, she's got 3 assists in this game, as that one's gonna rattle in for Hardy. In this one, Hardy's now up to 5 points. Southall going to be called for the foul on Heidi Robinson. That's Southall's 2nd foul of the contest. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers lead by 21 still. A little bit different of a change of play for both teams. Shots hard to come by here in this 3rd quarter. Robinson over to Tipton. She'll take the 3. And it's good. Tipton gonna get her first shot from beyond the arc to go. And a whistle blown here by the official. We'll wait to see what the call is, but it's gonna go back to the Tigers.
The only thing I can think of is if she wasn't properly set on the baseline to inbound and stepped out.
It's going to be lodged as a team turnover for the Blossoms. Not sure what it was, but that's going to give it back to the Tigers. Harrison backing down, and that's all good for her. She found the mismatch and exploited it.
Getting back to basics, finding those high percentage looks from the right block. That's Harrison's bread and butter.
Lindsay Long the 3, and finally going to get the deep shot to go for her. Lindsay Long is going to make her first 3, her team's first 3 of the game. Tipped in, the errant pass is stolen away. And with Long making that last 3, Blossoms can now breathe after they've just been unable to get something to go from deep today.
14 attempts, that was the first make. And for Long in her own right, starting to get back on track. Started this game 1 for 10, but she's made her last 2 baskets.
Coming in for UAM, Williams in for Long, and then Ella Hamlin back on the court as well. Tipton trying to get through this press, and they can. 1:20 remaining here in the 3rd. Porter, the drive on Hamlin. Back out to Robinson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Tipton on Williams. She'll step back inside to Harrison. Triple teamed, and Abby Harrison is going to go to the line for 2. That's going to be her first trip to the stripe today. Excuse me, 2nd trip to the stripe today. And a Lindsay Long back in the game, as well as Opal Hardy. And not shy of substitutions are the Blossoms today. Only 9 players they have brought to Arkadelphia today. Harrison's first one is going to rattle in for her. On the season, coming into this one, Abby Harrison shooting 61.1% from there. Second one is up and good for her. And now Abby Harrison leading all scorers today with 18. Here's Alyssa Batten. Her team's made 5 of their last 7.
Shot clock never started, so.
And that's the first time we've seen that today. It's been a problem here from Bill Vining Arena a lot this season, but only the first shot clock error of the day so far. 59 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Batten looking around over to Long. Open 3 is good, and Alenzi Long has made her last 2 shots from deep.
Not only that, she's made her last 3 shots, period. Now up to double digits on the day with 10.
Tipton. Pass to Winfrey, and Harrison's going to get the shot on the break. Ouachita, the press breaker, played to perfection, and that's going to lead to an easy 2.
And you could see the sigh of relief there from Madeline Tipton, and she even verbally said, there we go, able to finally break the press by going down court.
Biley, that one does not hit the rim, and shot clock now off as Ouachita is going to hold it once again. They've had the final shot in all 3 periods so far. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Robinson into Porter at the buzzer, and that's good for her. Caden Porter putting a stamp on the third quarter as Ouachita heads to the final quarter up 67-41. We'll be back for the final 10 here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Action continuing here from Bill Vining Arena, and Ouachita routing the Cotton Blossoms of UAM. After a nice week off, you can tell that they've missed this court, and so far in this one they lead by 26 with only 10 minutes left to play.
And that was a rough third quarter for both teams in terms of getting their offenses established, but both teams starting to find their stride there in those final 4 or 5 minutes of the third. One of the stories for UAM has been Alenzi Long, 3 of her last 3. She's up to double-digit scoring on the day, and she's made her last 2 threes. We'll see if she can keep it up because, again, she's been the leading scorer for her team thus far this season. It's been a down day for her overall, but she's getting closer and closer to that average of 14.1 points per game.
And leading the scoring for the Tigers is Abby Harrison, 20 points on the afternoon and only missing 3 shots in 11 attempts. Here's Hubbard at the free throw line. Handoff to Watson. Back out to Hubbard. Brooke Smith back inside to Hubbard. She's backing down Biley. Vason under the basket and good. The up and under for the freshman is going to go for 2 more.
And that is going to be a couple of check marks for her on her scouting report. Not only the drive, but also the up and under.
And Ruby Trammell once again, that's her second drawn charge of the game. And Chase, I tell you why she's one of my favorite players on this team, and I haven't used this term yet today. Ruby Trammell, a true glue gal for this Ouachita team. Not a player that's going to drop 20 points a night, but she's a player that's going to create extra possessions for her team, whether it's on the chart, on drawing charges, or just good passes. Watson, she'll take it on the inside. Scoop layup is no good. Just 1 score away from a double-digit night. Long in the corner. She's picked up by Trammell. Williams, Biley at the free throw line. Bounces out for under 9 minutes to play in the game. Here's Samantha Watson. She'll dial it up from deep, and that's one is laces. Samantha Watson, that's her second tray of the season, now 2 for 8 on the year.
Just a simple step back that time, but great job recognizing the weakness in the defense. We've seen a couple of high arcing threes from the Tigers here in the second half.
Finley, she's going to get the mid-range shot to go, and she'll bring her team back to within 30. Watson picked up by Finley. Handoff back to Watson, looking for Hubbard on the inside. And trying to get the shot up over Biley, but Biley, great defense to prevent the make. Now Williams on the other side. Gets it up, can't get it to go over Trammell, but she'll get her own rebound. 8 minutes to play. Biley on Hubbard. The fader over the freshman is no good. And 2 freshmen battling for the rebound there. It's going to go to Hubbard. In Ouachita, and quite possibly one of the best positions they've been in this season. They lead by 29. The only problem is if they're going to win by 30 or not. And Hubbard wants to make sure of that. They lead by 31 after the bucket on the inside.
And Hubbard, we talked about her playing like a guard sometimes. That time she was playing like a true forward, a true post player, posting up and setting up for another high percentage look. The Tigers continuing to go back to the well, and it is yielding positive results.
Finley looking for Williams. That'll be a turnover for them. Now Ella Hamlin and Opal Hardy into the game for Monticello. On the breaker, Watson's going to get it. Tigers swinging it around. Here's Trammell in the corner. Watson over to Vation, inside to Smith. Gonna take the shot over the smaller defender. Trammell on the rebound. Can't get it to go, gets her own rebound. And Ruby Trammell, she says, I'll get it eventually, and finally gets the putback shot to go.
That's the relentless mindset that you have to have attacking down low.
And a Lindsay Long, that's a relentless mindset for her. No matter the lead for the other team, she's gonna continue to get it to go from deep.
Well, there's one thing that if you're going to take it away from a Lindsay's Long game today, it's her response to adversity. Wasn't the start that she had in mind. And you could see the frustration setting in at times. But the thing is, she didn't let it get to her, and she's really starting to find her groove here in the second half. 3 straight makes from deep.
Aubrey Henderson and Austin Olent in the game now for Ouachita. Olent's going to turn it over. UAM can't procure the turnover, and so it'll stay with Ouachita. Austin Olent and Aubrey Henderson now in the game. Not 2 players that get too much time, but both still very young, and we'll see how they play with their time now. Henderson looking inside for Hubbard, and she's going to be pushed to the floor. So foul called on the Blossoms, and Olent set to take it out of bounds. Pass inside to Vation. The drive, the floater, and the swish. Michaela Vation now showing what the history, what the future of Ouachita basketball is going to look like with a nice shot on the inside.
And one of the things you've taken away from this game too is just her ball handling skills and her relentlessness driving to the basket. Got great court vision to get the high percentage looks, but then the courage to finish it off.
Hubbard's going to pick up the rebound. Ouachita quickly again. Here's Olent. Hubbard, she'll be left open from the top of the key, and that one's no good off the backboard. Finley on the break, going to draw the foul. Can't get the shot to go. She'll head to the charity stripe for 2 here. Kiera Williams in the game. Finley shooting an even 78.6% from the stripe this season. First one is up and good for her. Coming into this one, Brylan Finley, 8th in the conference in assists per game with 3, and 9th in the conference in assist to turnover ratio. She makes them both, and that'll bring UAM back to within 30. Smith will get it on the break, and that'll easily break the press. Olent thought about the mid-range shot. Back out to Hubbard. Here's Henderson. Hubbard, the drive, and puts it up, but can't find it to go. Just over 5 minutes remaining here. Southall behind the back and puts it up. Rebound battled around for. And Kiera Williams, she'll get the rebound, take one dribble, and she's going to head to the line after the make on the left side. And with that, we're going to take another break. Ouachita 28-point lead here against UAM on their way to 3-0 here in conference play. We'll be right back here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Victory doesn't just happen on game day. It's earned in the sweat, the silence, the prep. No crowd, no lights, just focus. Because when something unexpected happens like an accident, you need a team that's ready. I've been fighting for clients for over 30 years. There's a reason we're still in the game. And at Taylor King Law, we don't just show up.
We win. On your side, by your side. The winning side.
The Ouachita Tigers sure know what the winning side looks like today. They lead by 28 with 4:56 remaining here. Final media timeout coming to a conclusion. And Chase, today, I mean, I've continued to say it's all Ouachita, it's all Ouachita. But man, I mean, I don't know what else to say in a game that has just been everything that head coach Nick Long has hoped for from his team.
Well, it starts out going up 26-8 in the first quarter, and then Ouachita has won the scoring battle in every quarter since, just continuing to build upon that lead. UAM has made strides throughout the game. They've made adjustments to improve their long-range game, to improve their game inside, cutting to the basket. But the Tigers have responded each and every time with adjustments of their own, keeping it up offensively, and that is why they are firmly in the driver's seat here going into the final 5 minutes of this contest.
And before the break, Kiera Williams getting the shot to go. She was fouled as well, so this will be her and one free throw here. Williams, 2 for 2 on the season from the line, and now make it 3 for 3 with the make. Here's Henderson. Ouachita able to break the press and get it in the half court. Olent, cross court, Vation open, corner three. Rattles out for her. Battle for the rebound. Brooke Smith is going to dive on it. Good effort by Brooke Smith, and Ouachita will retain possession. Olent, the drive on Southall, puts it up on the left side and can't get it to fall. Monticello with the possession now. Finley trying to get around Vation. Batten the drive on Henderson. Out to Finley. Southall, she'll take the three. Can't get it to go off the front of the rim. Less than 4 minutes to play here, Chase. Ouachita just trying to really dribble this one out.
But also some great opportunities here for some younger players to get some experience on the floor. That's what sets you up for future success. My goodness, we've seen some great cuts to the basket today from Vation. That one did not pan out for her, but she's had some great drives from the baseline, from outside going inside, just making some great moves close to the basket to set up high percentage looks.
And Chase, this team this year gives me a lot of flashes of that 2022-23 Ouachita team led by Michaela Miller, where Madeline Tipton was a freshman, and Michaela Vation looks a lot like a young Madeline Tipton right now. Brooke Smith gets the shot to go on the right side. Tigers now, they've crossed the 80-point threshold. Meanwhile, UAM just barely past 50. Finley's gonna get that one to fall on the left side as well. Here's Aubrey Henderson. On the season, 0 for 2, has not made a field goal. She's trapped in coffin corner, trying to get it out, and she'll just step through. Good awareness, Vation the three, and that's good. Michaela Vation gonna knock down her first triple of the evening.
She's up to 9 points on the night. We'd seen that time, didn't get the call, but really willing to contribute in every aspect of the game. Offensively, going inside, outside. That time she was willing to take the hustle play in transition, but it will be 2 here at the line for Finley.
And Finley, she's been to the line quite a few times tonight. 4 for 4 from that range. And looks like the officials are going to call for a replay. They want to look and see if Vaishon had her feet set, it looks like. So the officials will head to the monitor. 2:51 left to play. Michaela Vaishon trying to avoid here that second personal foul and chasing this one. Head coach Nick Long had not used his review. So it looks like here with the new NCAA rules allowing coaches to challenge one play, Coach Nick Long says, I don't want to go to the final buzzer without at least using it. And you see there the drive. Vaishon steps in and she'll take the contact. The question is whether she had her feet set indefinitely or not.
Well, and I think it was a matter of just 1 foot, to be honest, and they're going to go ahead and hold up the fingers for 2 shots. I think that time it came down to the right foot. The left foot was planted, but if you notice, that right foot was dragging ever so slightly towards the end of the play, and that's what led to the call of 2 shots here for Finley.
And drawing a charge is a very meticulous art in this game of basketball. Ruby Trammell has really mastered it up to this point, but Vaishon, only in her first season with the Tigers, not able to get the call there as Finley's going to miss her first free throw of the game. Second one is up and good. 1 for 2 on that trip to the stripe. Olent, she'll just dribble it down the court herself. She's doubled inside to Vaishon, and what vision by Austin Olent, and Michaela Vaishon, the benefactor of an incredible pass.
Well, and that's been one of the differences today. You see it even in the younger players for Ouachita, just that court vision, that lack of panic, even when everyone is speeding around on the floor, just able to find those teammates open for the looks down low. A couple quick points there for the Blossoms.
Southall, that's 2 more for her. Meanwhile, Michaela Vaishon, this is her first double-digit performance, official double-digit performance of her college career. She did have a double-digit scoring night in the exhibition preseason against Champion Christian. Olent, the spin, the step back is no good. Can't hit the rim there on the nice move. Inside to Hardy. Bounce pass to Hamlin, and great ball movement by the Blossoms, and that's going to give them 2.
And an underrated part of that play was the hesitation there from Hardy, because that easily could have been a travel, but was able to hang on just long enough to be able to flip it over to the right block.
Vaishon's pass on the inside is turned over. So now UAM back the other way. Trying to get the shot to go, and Hardy. Nice little hook shot there, and UAM now up to 60 in the game. And Brooke Smith, she'll dribble it down the court. Here's Olent, out to Vaishon. On the baseline, back out to Olent. Henderson, top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Austin Olent back with the ball. Screen by Hubbard, and she'll lose it there. They're going to say last touched by the Blossoms. 4 seconds on the shot clock, 1:01 on the game clock. Tigers going to need to get a quick shot up here. Pass into Henderson, open 3. No good, Vaishon on the rebound. Whistle blown. Maybe a little contact there on Vaishon is going to be whistled for a call.
Well, I think it was actually the shot clock was going off, and so they were allowing the horn to go, but the thing is it did hit the rim, so it was supposed to reset to 20. Now we've got the 20 seconds that we needed.
Pass it to Hubbard, it's got to go up and take some contact for it. Henderson, pass out to Vaishon. Here's Olent. Pass inside, Hubbard gets the nice pin down, and Austin Olent is going to get the assist.
Another backdoor cut Another good look down low.
And that's going to be a timeout for UAM. Head coach David Midlick wants to talk to his team for these final 38 seconds. Well, a little bit of confusion now. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Timeout on the court. 38 seconds remaining in this one. We'll take a quick break here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
And back to play here for the final 38.2 seconds in this one. In Chase, Ouachita going to move to 3-0 on the season in conference play, and they've now won 6 in a row since that opening night loss in Tahlequah.
What a start to the Nick Long era for Ouachita. What a start for these seniors, working through all the adversity that they've had here in their college careers to be able to start 3-0. There's so much talent on this team, and it is translating to the play that we're seeing on the floor. But Isaac, I don't even think it's just the talent, it's also the chemistry between these players. That's been the difference today. It hasn't just been the talent, because there's a lot of talent on this UAM team, but it's been the chemistry, the awareness of where your teammates are on the floor at all times. It's one of the reasons why Ouachita is one of the best passing teams in the conference, but today they were able to not only space the floor and get those outside shots, honestly, they took less than normal. It was getting down low. It was the backdoor cuts. It was the court vision, seeing those teammates down the floor and getting the best shot possible. It's textbook basketball, and it worked to perfection today for the Tigers.
That teamwork showing in the stat sheet. Ouachita tripling the amount of assists UAM is able to get today. Tigers finished with 21. And with that, the shot clock is off. Invasion's going to be notched for the rebound, and Austin Olin, all she's got to do is dribble this one out. Ouachita, they're going to finish off this one. Now 3-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, the only other undefeated team, Northwestern Oklahoma State, but we'll have to see the score of that game, as it looks like the Rangers are going to finish that one off as well. Ouachita now moves to 3-0 as they're one of only 2 undefeated teams remaining here in Great American Conference play. And your final score here from Bill Vining Arena, Ouachita 87, University of Arkansas-Monticello 60. Make sure to stay on following this broadcast for the next link. The men's basketball game will be following shortly. In just a minute, we'll be able to meet with head coach Nick Long to talk about this dominating performance. But from wire to wire, Chase, this Ouachita team knew what they needed to do, and they did not slow down whatsoever at getting towards that goal.
Got a double-digit lead out of the gate and did not let off the gas pedal, won the scoring battle in every single quarter. I mean, you look across the board, whether it was overall field goal percentage, whether it was three-point shooting percentage, whether it was the free throws, whether it was the turnover battle, whether it was the rebound battle, which has traditionally gone to UAM. There's hardly any team better in the conference at winning the rebound battle. Each and every time, it looked like it was going Ouachita's way, and the result, a 3rd consecutive conference win to open up GAC play. What a start to the year for these Tigers.
And really the factor that won the Tigers this one has to be those points in the paint. 50 of the Tigers' eventual 87 points really being gotten down in deep inside, just being able to create those open shots.
When it looks like Nick Long is making his way to the table after meeting with his family, so I'm going to go ahead and make a way for him.
And Chase, we'll see you back here in just a little bit after Coach Long comes on to finish off this broadcast. But for now, your final score here, 87 Ouachita, UAM with 60. Now head coach Nick Long gonna have to battle through all the people coming to tell him congratulations. Let's come over here now. Coach Long, congrats on an amazing performance today. I mean, you can really tell that this one, your team just came in with a goal and achieved it almost expertly.
Yeah, I was really pleased with just the play all around. Another game where someone decided to try to take tip out of the game early, and they were face guarding, and And, we were poised. We executed. We knocked down shots. Audrey opened us up with the corner three, and from there it was just kind of on from that point.
Coach, I can kind of imagine you as just a guy where you can just pull out just a multitude of weapons on offense where, hey, if Madeline's not going to get guarded heavily, well, it's okay. I've got plenty of other weapons on the court.
Yep.
And today you just said, all right, we'll just go inside and we'll give it inside to Abby Harrison. She finishes with 20 points, incredible efficiency once again. I mean, it's just back and forth. Other teams trying to find a response and you just going to another option.
Oh, yeah, I mean, today it was Abby again today. Tip still finishes with 10 points. She only took 4 shots, but I'll take 75% and 66% from 3 any day of the week from anybody on the team. And then Michaela in double figures, Sam in double figures, and then Tip and Abby. But really good job with what they did and how they came in and executed what we needed to do.
And Coach, typically you guys are a team that really thrives on the outside, getting some really open shots. But today, I mean, UAM was giving you those inside shots, and 50 points in the paint created. Yep. Just an expert performance in there as well.
Yeah, it's been like I said, our spacing has been something we've worked really hard on staying really good spacing, and that opens things up for us to get downhill and really do a good job of going and executing and going and finishing. And then when you had the spacing and you had the shooters around, you have Audrey, you have Kaden, you have Heidi, you have Tip outside and around Abby, you can't do a whole lot with that because then you're giving up a wide open three to somebody that it's a 35-40% or higher 3-point shooter. And so it's really, just again really pleased in what we did today. Obviously turn the page to celebrate this one and big one on Thursday.
And Coach, you talk about that spacing. Your team really able to use that well. 21 assists in the game as well. You can tell these guys have been playing together for a while, and they have really bought into the system you've given them this season. Just talk about the passing from a team that has just such great chemistry we've seen.
Oh yeah, and it's just there's still bits and pieces where we're picking up some nuances and some things, and where we're missing a couple of things. But just overall, like you said, 21 assists, and just a lot of that turns from offense or defense to offense, and how we play. They're really buying into, hey, we get stops, we get rebounds. We're getting out and we're running, and when we get out and we're able to run, we look really, really good when we're doing that.
Well, Coach, now next game up mentality. You've got a top 10 matchup against one of the best teams in the country coming up on Thursday. Harding, a team that can beat you in a multitude of ways as well. Mm-hmm. You guys being one of the best teams in this conference now, showing that with this 3-0 conference record. How do you go up against a Harding team that's going to come into this building with all the confidence in the world?
Yeah, They played later on tonight, I think, against Henderson. I think football is playing in a semifinal game for them. But no, it's going to be a really, really tough battle. Like you said, obviously they are a completely different team than what they were last year. They've got a whole multitude of new pieces. You still got Josie and you still got Maddie. Out there on the perimeter. But everyone else is new. Everyone else is a freshman or a transfer for them. And so they just kind of reload it and play the same and all. But we'll go to work on Monday, getting ready for them and see what happens on Thursday.
And Coach, I mean, not exactly the peak time to play them as well. With finals week going on, how do you battle through those objectives as well and still try to get a win?
This week was tougher for a lot of mine than finals week, so it was for a lot of our players. So it was nice for them. They had projects and presentations and tests still too going into finals. So I'd say what we were able to do this week and how we were able to prepare and how we were able to come out and execute what we needed to do really kind of showed kind of the experience and the poise that we got and just how they came out executed and handled business and we were able to rest some folks tonight too.
And Coach, congrats on the big win today. I'll let you go celebrate it with your team.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
And that was head coach Nick Long for the Ouachita Tigers. Ouachita wins this one 3-0. Undefeated still in GAC play, but a date with the Harding Bisons coming up on Thursday. Chase back here with us. And Chase, it's been an honor being able to commentate with you today. Someone that, when I was a freshman coming into OSDN, I always looked up to you and Chris Gay and the way that you and Chris were able to work off each other on broadcasts, and now I get to sit opposite from you at this table and talk about a great win for Ouachita.
Well, Isaac, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this special day for you. One of the joys of being a student here and now being in my role here at Ouachita is getting to see students' growth over their time here. And it's amazing to see the ways that you've grown in your skills, whether it's writing, broadcasting, whatever it is, even swimming. I know you don't talk about that chapter as much these days, but that was the reason you were here in the first place. Just seeing the way that you've grown in your skills, but also in your maturity and your faith, it has truly been an honor to be a part of that process. And I look forward to seeing where you go from here. I look forward to seeing you getting to teach students those skills in your new occupation, because, folks, there are few people on this campus that work harder than Isaac Bourne does. I've seen his work ethic time and again. Whenever I'm walking by the OSDN offense, I see him. He is either writing or making preparations for whatever the next broadcast may be. And that work ethic, those skills of learning to research and to get ready, those are indispensable skills, and those are skills that he's going to pass on to the next generation of media specialists and broadcasters. And it has been an honor to get to be a part of your Ouachita journey, Isaac. I wish you the absolute best, and do not forget to tune in next Thursday for his final broadcast against the Harding Bisons.
And also for anyone else, don't forget to tune in just a few minutes as well. We've got another one coming up, the second half of this doubleheader men's basketball. Chase, thank you so much for coming on. I'll let you get on to the wedding you got to go to after this, but for everyone watching, thank you all so much for watching this women's basketball broadcast. Your final score, Ouachita 87, UAM 60.
And one last thing before I go, congratulations to the McKendrys. Mallory Carrozza, soon to be McKendry, out of the class of 2025, and Jonathan McKendry out of the class of 2026. We love both of you, and congratulations on this special day.
Congrats to both of you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. See y'all in a minute.
Hi, everybody. This is John Fanta with Fox Sports and the Big East Digital Network.
Hi, this is Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Craddock of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky with the Chicago Bulls, our flagship station, 670 The Score.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN. This is Tom Hart at ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.